You seem comfortable out there. I'm sure you will get your PPL in no time. There's a laptop in the office that shows all the certification information you'll need for your PPL exam. Take a look. Here you can see all the different certifications you can pass throughout your career. Your first step is to work towards your private pilot license. All the training lessons you'll need to pass the PPL exam are available here. Make sure you're comfortable with these before taking the exam.
To help demonstrate pitch, I've drawn 3 lines on the windshield. Notice how the middle line matches the horizon while we're flying level? This is the cruise attitude. The lower dotted line is the climb attitude, and the upper one is the descent attitude. Let's dig deeper into what that means. Pull back gently on the yoke until the climb attitude line matches the horizon. Then maintain that attitude. According to your altimeter, we're gaining altitude. But we're losing airspeed, proving you can avoid basic physics while making a climb. Keep working on it, you'll get better. Now, let's level back out. Our speed is increasing and our altitude is stable. All right. That's good. That's okay. Push gently on the yoke until the descent attitude line matches the horizon. Then maintain that attitude. As expected, with a nose-down attitude, our altitude is decreasing while our speed is picking up. Keep working on it, you'll get better. Okay, bring us back to level flight. Now your speed is decreasing and your altitude is stable. That's good. That's okay. I think a bit more practice may be a good idea. Try to make only small adjustments to your pitch to avoid overcorrection. For this lesson, we're going to use a line drawn on the windshield to indicate the cruise attitude. I've also added another dotted line to help you bank properly for left turns. Gently move the yoke to the left until the dotted line matches up with the horizon. Then maintain that bank. Keep working on it, you'll get better. Now, let's see level back out. All right. For the next step, turning to the right, let's see how you do on your own without any markings. You can see a series of notches representing 10-degree increments on the attitude indicator part of your PFD. As a general rule, you always want to keep your turns under 30 degrees. Start banking right until you're lined up with the second notch to the right on the attitude indicator. Then, maintain that 20-degree bank while remaining at the same altitude until I ask you to stop. That's good. Keep working to maintain a constant altitude during the turn. Level us back out now. Great. Additional practice will help, don't worry. Small corrections on the yoke will lead to more accurate turns. let's talk about the throttle. If you have the need for speed, then the throttle's for you. Full control over the power output of the engine. In the Cessna 172, that relates directly to the RPM displayed on the tachometer on the PFD. Pull back on the throttle to reduce RPM to 1800. Pull back on the throttle. You want to reduce RPM to 1800. Look how your speed and altitude are also decreasing. That's good. Okay, let's throttle back up to 2,400 RPM. Your speed is increasing now. As long as you maintain the same attitude, your altitude will keep climbing as well. Nice. You did well, but you can do better. Practice getting comfortable with the relationship between the throttle and RPM.
Alright, hello guys, welcome, how are you doing? Nice to see you here. So we are trying this new career mode, doing some practices. We're gonna be here. I didn't know where the RPM was, but now I do know where it is. Alright, next training. Let's try and get this PPL certificate. So what's this? Okay, we're gonna maintain different attitudes, combine climbings and level off and descents and turns, and handle the different effects. Right. Okay. Aviation Things, hello, how are you doing?
The art of maneuvering a plane through the air isn't a mystery to you anymore. Now it's time to test the skills you've learned.
Alright, let's test the skills.
As you can see, we're cruising at 6,000 feet on a north heading of 360 degrees.
Yes.
Start by descending to 5,500 feet while maintaining a northerly heading.
Alright, we'll descend to 5,000 feet. 5,500 feet.
While descending, reduce throttle to avoid overspeed. If your speed is in the yellow section of the airspeed indicator, it means you are overspeeding. Reduce throttle to idle and pull gently on the yoke to slow down. While descending, reduce throttle to avoid overspeed. Right. Now, climb to 6,000 feet and turn to a south heading.
RPM
On the Cessna
2,400.
172, you need full power to climb effectively.
Okay, full power. 6,000 feet. It's quite hard to maintain the altitude and turning to the south and keeping it level. There we go.
Nice. All right, next exercise. Maintain your heading of 180 degrees, stay at 6,000 feet, and adjust your airspeed to 80 knots.
Alright, let's adjust the airspeed to 80 knots. I'll keep flying south.
That's good. Your speed was well managed, but your altitude needs to be more accurate. That was excellent.
Excellent. Ooh. Well, thank you very much. Now what? Ooh, we get an A. Next training, what is that? Before flight? So we start at the ground, blah blah blah, to prepare the aircraft and all the necessary precautions. Alright. Let's try this then.
Hello. Today we're going to go over all the steps that precede turning on your engine. Those steps are essential to ensure your aircraft's integrity and that everything is in order for a smooth and seamless flight. First of all, stretch your legs a bit and take a look at your aircraft and your surroundings. We never took much time to look at our aircraft from the outside, so take your time if you want to inspect it. You might have noticed some extra bits on your aircraft. These are the covers and chocks. Covers are installed when the plane is not in use and are meant to avoid damaging its sensitive parts. Chocks are there to immobilize the aircraft. You'll need to remove them before takeoff.
Okay, let's take them up. Don't know how we do that. Just like that. Take away the lid for the statical port, remove it for flight. Is it these ones? Might be another one on the other side. No.
And we're done for the outside. Now that we're sure your aircraft is functional and ready to taxi, let's check the inside. Let's get to the matter at hand. You've been given an EFB, also referred to as an electronic flight bag. It's a tablet that stores critical flight information and is the ideal tool to prepare your flight plans and enhance your piloting experience. Open it and take a look. Feel free to follow a quick guided tour of its features.
Open EFB with the tab, okay.
The EFB features an interactive map, a flight plan editor, aircraft and current flight information, a nav log as well as fuel and payload options. The EFB has plenty to offer, but if you want to get directly into the action, you can turn it off after you finish the quick tour.
Right. Turn it off with the tab.
It seems like we're all clear on the checklist. Now start this pretty bird up.
Right, started. By either filling in the checklist or a quick start. We're not going to do the quick start. That's not just. So do we have like. Okay, so do we have the checklist here maybe? This is just charts here then. No? Checklist. Ah, okay. Before flight, we remove the pilot, parking brake, make sure that is set. It is set, I think it's right here. Yes, it's on. Lightning, can we see where it is? Oh well, we'll just start here just a little. Probably need to turn it on here with all the avionics and battery. And we'll have this one. And
Now that we've covered all the preparations, let's get to the good stuff, shall we?
good stuff, I like it. Ah, okay. Oh wow, 100%. Awesome. Next training, what is that? Taxing, alright. Prepare the pedals on the floor. Taxing is an important skill to maneuver before flying. Before the plane takes off, you need to follow the taxi runways. Alright, let's do it. And we'll start.
Let's take a moment to talk about taxiing.
Ugh.
Taxiing
Not
refers to moving the aircraft on the ground under its own power. In particular, getting from the ramp out to the hold short point on the edge of the runway. Steering on the ground is managed through the rudder pedals. That's right, unlike driving a car, we turn by using our feet. Okay, ready? With the throttle idle, release your parking brake.
Release the parking brake.
Next time, make sure your throttle is at idle before releasing the parking brake.
Of course.
Now, gently increase throttle to get the aircraft moving.
Alright. Increasing the throttle.
Go easy on your throttle. Use your rudder pedal to turn left and enter the taxiway.
Will do.
Increase throttle to gain forward momentum and then reduce RPM accordingly to match a fast walking speed while taxiing.
Yeah, which RPM should it be then?
Now, test the brakes. Good. Brakes checked.
Brakes check.
Taxi to the next exit, then come to a stop. Remember to control your speed with throttle and brakes. See the crossing in front of us. Stop before it, as if traffic was coming off the runway.
Traffic? What traffic? I don't see any traffic. I'll stop at 0.0 nautical miles.
Watch your speed.
Yeah, which speed do you want then?
Watch your speed.
Brake.
All right, taxi to holding point Alpha 1 next. It's at the far end of the airport, near the head of runway 21. Stay as close as possible to the taxiway center, marked by the yellow line, and watch your speed.
Got it. Hello. It's not so easy to taxi. A little bumpy here. Oh, I didn't know we could see directly seeing the taxi and the ground like on this display.
After the right turn, come to a stop before the hold short point in prep for takeoff.
Roger that. We'll stay short here and then prepare for takeoff. Hold short point. And stop. Ooh, close.
You've mastered that lesson. The next
Good.
challenge will be to keep the aircraft under control while at full throttle for takeoff.
All right. Prepared for takeoff. Ooh, we got an A here too. 98% of taxing. I'll take it. Okay, so we're gonna do some start and landing. All right. Let's do this.
There's an old saying I like: a mile of road will take you a mile. A mile of runway will take you anywhere. Taking off isn't hard, but there are a few key points to remember. First, we always take off into the wind, which won't be an issue on a calm day like today. Second, before we enter a runway, we always make sure it's clear. Check to the right to see if a vehicle is on the runway. And to the left
like it.
to make sure no other planes are approaching.
Seems good.
Runway
Check.
numbers are not arbitrary. Each number matches the first two number of the runway's compass bearing, rounded to the nearest 10 degrees. For example, a runway orientated towards the north would be numbered 36, which is 360 degrees on a compass. Everything looks good, no cross traffic. Go ahead and taxi into position.
Taxi into position.
Now slowly taxi onto the runway and align the plane with the center line. Then stop your plane just after the number 21. Not bad. All right, let's do this. Apply full power, and I'll walk you through the takeoff as we go. Use your rudder to stay on the center line, and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots. Good. Now, gently pull back on the yoke. And we're airborne. Line up the top of your instrument panel so it's a couple of inches above the horizon. That'll pitch us up and set a good climb attitude. Maintain 75 knots, and we'll reach our target altitude of 5,500 feet in no time. Focus on flying straight. Use your rudders to remove the left yaw plane has when climbing. You can see your current yaw input by looking at the MFD's slip skid indicator. Maintain 75 knots and climb to 5,500 feet. Okay, 5,500 feet. You've reached your target altitude. That was a nice takeoff.
Nice. Also an A position for start. Yeah, wasn't the best, but the start, yeah. Next one, landing.
For this landing exercise, I want you to focus on the yoke only. We're close enough to the runway to land safely without adding any throttle. Maintain a speed of around 65 knots. Pitch down if you're going too slow. Pitch up if you're too fast. Keep your airspeed at 65 knots. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare. To flare means to raise the nose of the aircraft to slow your descent for a softer landing, but without ever leveling off or climbing. The main landing gear will touch down before the nose wheel does.
How are we supposed to maintain 65 knots when
500.
We're coming up on flare height. Resist the temptation to pull back. Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it. Nice. Now, apply the brakes progressively to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop. Use rudder pedals to stay on the center line. Well done, but there's room for improvement.
there. Probably the speed. A B. Okay.
In the first part of this landing exercise, I want you to stay on the glide path by using the throttle. You can make small corrections with the yoke to stay aligned with the runway. Smooth action on the throttle is key for remaining on the correct glide path. If you find yourself too high, reduce your power. If you're too low, increase it. Remember though, always make soft corrections. You don't want to overcompensate. Now you can use the elevator to land. Reduce throttle to idle. Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it. Nice. Now, apply the brakes to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop. That was excellent. My first instructor used to say, the best part of flying is landing in one piece. Today, you're in charge of bringing us in for a safe landing. And I've already set us up in landing configuration at 65 knots with 20 degrees of flaps. Keep your aim point on the runway threshold. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare. Reduce throttle to idle. Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it. Nice. Now, apply the brakes progressively to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop. Use rudder pedals to stay on the center line. You did well, but you can do better. Keep in mind that approaching the runway at the right speed is key to a good landing. Okay, we're currently flying on the downwind leg at the standard traffic pattern altitude of 6,000 feet. It's a flight path parallel to the landing runway, but in the opposite direction. In downwind, you want to start preparing for landing. That means setting your speed and flaps configuration. We are passing the end of the runway, so go ahead and reduce RPM to 1700. It will help you to slow you down to 80 knots and begin your descent. The flaps provide extra lift at the expense of additional drag. This extra lift allows flying at a lower airspeed. Flaps allow for smoother and shorter landings. Go ahead and extend 10 degrees of flaps, all while maintaining current speed. We will turn to the base leg when the end of the runway is at a 45-degree angle behind us. Turn left onto the base leg. Try to keep our speed around 75 knots. Keep an eye on the runway as we get ready for our final turn. Turn left onto final. Make your left turn onto final. Make your left turn onto final. Make your left turn onto final. Keep a stabilized approach with 65 knots airspeed and prepare for landing. Use throttle and flaps as required to adjust the glide slope. Apply the brakes and stop the plane. That was all right. A little more practice will help your accuracy, though.
Hello, Isaac at Gaming. Welcome back. How are you doing? Been so busy, but I'm glad I'm back. All right. Welcome back. So we're trying to do this career mode. We're gonna try and get the PPL certificate. I'm not sure. I think we almost have done all the trainings. This was not the best exercise. I didn't quite know what to do really, and with the flaps setting it manually, I lost a bit of track where I was flying. Okay, what's this? The first solo flight. Ooh, nice. Let's try that. So how are you doing, Isaac Gaming? First solo flight. Ooh, nice.
It's time. Your
It's
first
time.
solo flight.
Alright, finally
I'll be
my
watching
first
from the
solo
ground,
flight.
in radio contact if you need me. But something tells me you won't. Your
Radio
goal
contact,
is
we
to
haven't talked
complete
about radio
Sedona's
contact, but
left-hand
okay.
traffic pattern on your own. Remember everything we covered in our previous sessions, and you'll be just fine.
Great, I forgot everything.
Good luck. See you on the other side.
On the other side, right? Are we just prepared to start? Okay, we're just gonna start. Alright, we can do this. Let's have a look outside. Nice. Okay, so start. We have the flaps set. They are probably set at. You can't really see it. Are they 10 or up? Looked like they were down a bit. Okay, 55 knots, and so we take off. And according to the map, here we're gonna fly left, I think. I will see. Full throttle. We'll just. So which altitude I'm gonna fly to? Alright, 55 knots and ready to take off. Reach the end. Reach 1,650 meters. So what's that? The altitude. Maintain 75 knots. Okay. Oops, we're gonna increase. $75 knots. It's hard to keep the knots accurate. Turn to the left. Okay, 5,700 feet. Well, we're still gonna maintain 75 knots and climb. Climb to 6,000 feet. Okay, 6,000 feet, and we're gonna maintain 80 knots. It's really hard to keep the knots and altitude and speed. Let's set the full flaps. Maintain 65 knots.
500.
Well, it wasn't too bad, but I couldn't keep all the speed and altitude and all those important stuff.
I think a bit more practice may be a good idea. You're on your way to becoming one hell of a pilot.
One hell of a pilot, but I need a lot more practice. Right. Almost be. Okay, back to the certificate. Let's see if we can take the certificate. I think we're ready for the PPL. Okay, based on the records, do you think I'm ready? Yeah. Okay. Let's try it. I don't think I'll make it big if they'll. What? Ah, you need to buy. And how do I know how many points I have done? Oh, I have 5,000 credit. Okay. Oh, I feel poor now. Okay, so let's see. We take off, and then first part of the climb. Yeah, basically just gonna fly around like that, and landing. All right.
first ever check ride.
Right.
Start by removing the covers and chocks, then join me inside.
Yes, will do. It's not.
Your goal is to complete a left-hand traffic pattern, respecting the flight path and all required speeds. Rely on what you have learned in your trainings and you'll be fine. Now, show me the best traffic pattern that you've got.
Brahma Ground Cessna Sierra Echo. Papa Yankee Victor ready to taxi east departure with Zulu.
Cessna Sierra Echo. Papa Yankee Victor taxi to and hold short of runway 30 via taxiway Yankee Yankee Fife. Contact tower on 130.tree when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 30 using taxiway Yankee Yankee Fife, Cessna Papa Yankee Victor.
A little bit tricky to taxi here with all the planes and stuff. So do you think we'll make it? Oh, look at that scenery. It's not looking too good, is it? Sorry, it's clear for takeoff. No, good.
Stockholm Tower Cessna Sierra Echo. Papa Yankee Victor at runway 30 ready for departure east departure.
Cessna Sierra Echo, Papa Yankee Victor QNH 101 tree east departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 30.
Cleared for takeoff runway 30 Cessna Papa Yankee Victor.
Alright, clear for takeoff. climb to 500 feet.
Cessna Papa Yankee Victor, continue for east departure.
Continue for east departure.
Stockholm Tower Cessna, Sierra Echo. Papa Yankee Victor, continue for east departure.
Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink.
Now we're gonna climb to 1,000 feet. Jag kommer.
Stockholm Tower Cessna, Sierra Echo. Papa Yankee Victor, 1,000 feet to land.
Cessna Sierra Echo Papa Yankee Victor, Stockholm Tower. QNH 101 tree, enter left traffic runway tree 0.
Make left traffic runway, tree 0 Cessna, Papa Yankee Victor.
Cessna Papa Yankee Victor, wind calm, clear to land runway tree 0.
Cleared to land runway, tree 0 Cessna, Papa Yankee Victor.
Cessna Papa Yankee Victor, exit runway when able. Cessna Papa Yankee Victor, contact ground on 121.605.
121.605 for Cessna Papa Yankee Victor. Lima Ground Cessna Sierra Echo. Papa Yankee Victor request taxi to parking.
Cessna Sierra Echo. Papa Yankee Victor taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Yankee 4 Yankee Sierra.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Yankee 4 Yankee Sierra Cessna Papa Yankee Victor.
Congratulations. You're on your way to become
Oh,
one
my-
hell of a pilot.
Scandinavian, hej, försöker flyga ES-30. Men jag kan inte sänka ljusstyrkan på själva panelerna. Okej. Intressant. Jag måste testa det. Jag måste sluta streama nu, men jag ska kolla på den sen då. ES-30. Alright, we get a PPL certificate. We can now fly one single engine with airplane when it's good weather conditions. Nice, so we can choose between these ones.
Congratulations on passing your PPL exam. Hopefully that's the first of many steps on your career path. Your PPL allows you to fly recreationally and begin to build up your flight
plus, I
hours.
think it was quite
First
good.
flight
I
missions
thought I
are
would
a
fail,
great
actually.
way to increase your experience. Let's go back to headquarters and review the specializations board to learn more.
Reputation? Quite a good reputation here, okay.
As you can see, the career journey of a pilot can take many different paths. As I said earlier, your PPL is the first step, allowing you to fly recreationally and perform first flight missions, taking people on tours around the local area. As you build up your flight hours and earn more certifications, other specializations will become available.
Jag kommer, jag ska stänga av. Alright, gotta go. We'll see you later. I'll be back in this evening. So bye for now and see you later.
On this map, you can see there's one mission currently available. Select